Hey everybody, Whitney with Girl Friday Crafts. A little bit late, and I'll tell you why in just one second. You know, I gotta hop over here to YouTube and make sure that I am actually live. So one of these days I'm gonna stop checking, and then the minute I stop checking, I'm not gonna be live, and I'm gonna think I'm live, and then I'm gonna do all this, and it's not gonna be there. So it says it. I know there are tons of people that like do this all the time and just completely trust that it's live. Maybe I'll get there eventually. Maybe that should be one of my, and I'm gonna think I'm live. One of my New Year's. I don't really use the word resolutions, but maybe that's something I can work on in the new year. Okay, so YouTube says I'm live, so we are good. I am late because I was starting to get everything together, and I could not find my glue gun, which is an essential piece of tonight's project because I had packed it to take to my show over the weekend in case we needed it. We were thinking about gluing some things in terms of table decoration. And I am not completely unpacked from said show, and my glue gun was still packed, and I had a moment of lots of cuss words coming out of my mouth. Not because I couldn't find the glue gun, but just because everything's just a mess and it's making me crazy. And it's you probably can't tell from what you can see behind me, but it's better than it was. I need to be able to focus on one thing at a time for more than like an hour at a stretch and feel like I'm actually getting some things done. But anyway, that is not what tonight is about. Tonight is about crafting and creating and easy-ish projects, short-ish projects. Never really short when I'm involved, and maybe that's something I'll get better at in the new year. But a couple of things before I get started. This is definitely going to be longer than a 15-minute video. So one of the things I realized that I've not been doing, even though it's in the video description, is I have not been talking about my co-collaborators in Craftember November. So I want to make sure to shout out Teresa, Jocelyn, and Jennifer, who are also doing Craftember November with me. So the links to their pages are in the video description, and I will start adding their videos into my Craftember playlist on my page so you can see everybody's. And we all do very different things, so which I think is pretty amazing, and that's what I think is super fun about this, is because you can see so many different things, you know, just bouncing around from all of us. And Teresa was live every day on her YouTube channel in October, which is kind of what gave me the idea for this. And so I applaud her for jumping into this with us after doing that for 31 days, because we're halfway through the month, and like literally today, about 45 minutes ago, I was like, I don't know what I'm doing. I need to go live tonight. I have no idea. So I went through that list of reels that I have saved on my phone, and I found something. I was actually going to make a shaker card because I've never actually made a shaker card in all of my years of card making. But to be honest, I didn't really feel like dealing with my die cut machine and stuff, so I didn't do that. We're gonna go for this. The other thing that I want to mention, even though I haven't really been doing a lot of chalk projects lately, it is Black Friday all month in November, and so there are new specials and new gift with purchases dropping every week. So right now the doorbusters are a pattern tray kit and a red apron, which is really cute, and the aprons are really nice quality. No, the apron is the gift with purchase. The doorbuster is the pattern tray. The apron is the gift with purchase. right now, C, D, and E transfers are all 50% off, and that's 50% off of whatever your pricing is. So if you're a retail customer, you get 50% off that. If you're a Perks customer, you have your 30% off, and then you get 50% off that. If you're a designer, you have your 40% off, and then you get your 50% off of that price. There are some new things dropping on Monday that I'm really excited about. I'll sneak peek that maybe on Sunday on my live. But the other thing, I meant to bring it down here and I didn't. Okay, so I'll share that too. The other thing for the month of November is that if you can join Perks or sign up as a designer for 50% off. So Perks is $20 a month and you get $20 back in product credit. If you sign up in November, it's $10. You still get your $20 in product credit. Designership is also $20 a month. You get $20 in product credit. You can sign up for $10, or you can sign up getting the enrollment kit, the holiday enrollment kit, which is almost $300 worth of retail product for $50. And that's usually $99. So those are opportunities that run through the entire month. And that's kind of an added thank you from me. Anybody in the month of November who signs up for Perks or joins my team or signs up for Club Couture, because even though there's not specials on Club, I think Club is a great way to try a chalk. I shouldn't say anybody because I don't have an unlimited supply. But so I should say this, the first 5 people, because that's what I have right now, who sign up for any of those things in the month of November will get a free Santa's clothesline kit from me. And I did a video on that. I will link to that. It's the cutest project. It's one of my absolute favorite projects. It's super fun. It is 50% off right now. So you can purchase it or you can get it from me for free. Okay. So that's all that. And then the other thing that I realize I've not been doing a very good job of is putting in the video description the supply list for the projects, and probably not even talking about that at the beginning. So we're going to do that, and I'm going to go back in all my videos and add the supply list, and I will make sure to do that tonight. So I don't know if I can show you what you're making or what I'm making, because it's a reel and it's the whole kit and caboodle project thingy. I wonder if I could fast forward it enough to the end.
Hey y'all, okay, so today we're making the cutest little Christmas tree ornament.
Actually, I can do this. So I'm going to screenshot that, and we're going to make that bigger, and then I'm going to, it would help if I minimized myself some. And then, there we go. Okay, so this is what we're making. So I'm probably just going to do this like white one over here. Although I want to try the other two, but this is just made out of popsicle sticks and paint and twine and these little bitty wreaths that you can get at Hobby Lobby or Michael's. And part of the reason I picked this project is because I already had some of these. So, that made it easy. So I'm going to go ahead while I'm thinking about it and cut that off. And then I'm going to turn my glue gun on, because invariably I always wait too late to turn that on. And then we need 9 popsicle sticks. So I'm going to use, I think, maybe those 2 for the crossbars. They're a little bit different size than these, so we'll have to see if they're long enough. And then we need 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. next to each other. Try to get them even. Use my little lines on my mat here. Oh yeah, okay. So these will be long enough. There we go. Feel like just for, no, maybe not. Feel like just for strength, I should maybe be using the wider ones, but I think we'll be okay. So then what you're gonna do is you're just going to make, oops, gotta hold it down tight. Make a kind of a line on where you need to cut. And then we're just gonna use this one to make the line on this, kind of like what I did cutting the paper for that sphere, that globe card. I'm just gonna take my scissors, hopefully this is gonna work, and we're gonna cut this. I do have, oops, I do have in my Amazon cart, what is it? Or in my save for later, and I really should try to pick these up at Lowe's or Menards or something. Sorry, I'm a little all over the place this evening, so hang in there with me. I promise it will get better. Oh, tin snips. That's what they're called. I have a pair of tin snips. So I don't know if any of you follow Whiskey and Wit on YouTube. Of course, you know, her name's Whitney. Of course I had to follow her. But she does some really, really awesome DIYs and dupes. And I was watching her do a video, and she had tin snips, and I was like, oh, I should get a pair of those, because that would cut those popsicle sticks way easier than my poor little scissors. And now I have pieces of wood on the floor that I'm gonna have to go find before the dogs eat it, because that's a trip to the vet waiting to happen. Okay. Whoops. I have a little fan on because it got warm in here, but I'm going to turn that off. I don't want to dry anything too quickly. I hope everybody, ooh, hello, yep, glue everywhere, big mess, fun, okay. Hope everybody is doing well this evening. I am very, very glad it's Friday. I do have to go out of town for work next week, which I'm a little conflicted about. I'm excited to see everybody. We're having a division retreat, and I haven't been in person with everybody since last summer, not summer of 24, but summer of 23, when we had an all-staff retreat in Chicago, and so that was fun. And you know, the majority of my team is in our Chicago office, as well as, you know, people I've worked with for almost 20 years now. So I am looking forward to it from that vantage point, but at the same time, it has been so chaotic and crazy around here. And leaving just makes it more chaotic and crazy. So I'm glad the week after is Thanksgiving. I'm not off the whole week. I'm only off Thursday, half day Wednesday, well, a few hours Wednesday, and then Thursday and Friday. But it'll be a slow week. It should be a quiet week. I probably just jinxed it. So one of the things that the woman I got this idea from did in her video was to add another. She did two, I think. Did she crisscross? Yeah, I think she did a little bit of a crisscross, but I'm going to add... Yeah. Hold on. I want to look at my picture again. I'm sorry. Yeah, she did a little crisscross, which I could do because I wouldn't have to cut the pieces to be able to do that. And that would look cute. But so does that. So for this first time out, we're just going to keep it simple and leave it at that. And she painted hers. But I am going to try, and I might wish I hadn't done this. But I am going to, actually, does this have a thing on it that I need to take off? I have this Dixie Belle, gel stain that I have not used. I have two colors. I have Up in Smoke and I have Tobacco Road. And so we are going to actually try this. I'm curious. So I'm going to get a paintbrush. And I'm going to shake this up just a little bit more because it's been sitting for a while. Yeah, I'm going to try the Tobacco Road. Alright, so I'm going to pour some of this out. And here, I'm going to brush it off the lid. Now, I'll be honest, I would be typically more inclined to paint these first, as opposed to putting them together and painting them, but I'm sure there was a reason that she did it this way. And the other thing is that I don't necessarily like to take time to paint things on lives because, I mean, I don't mind watching people paint things, but I don't know, I just feel like, I mean, if you're watching me live, you're probably like, okay, yeah, this is boring right now. If you're watching on a replay, which, by the way, if you're watching on replay, hi, you can obviously fast forward through this. Okay, so I'm already liking this stuff, one, because it doesn't smell. So, you know, I would normally be a little hesitant to use a wood stain inside because of the smell. But either I'm super congested right now, which is not entirely out of the question, or this just does not have that odor to it. So just sit this on this cloth here just to keep from getting stuff on my cutting mat. Not that it really matters, but although this was the cloth I was going to use to wipe this down with. Turn it around. Don't really have anything to hold on to at this point. And this is kind of cool because you can decide like how dark you want it. But this is also cool because there are often times that I want to use a stain on something instead of paint, but it's either cold or I don't really feel like dealing with going outside. And like anything else, any other stain, you know, you paint it on and then you just take a cloth and wipe off the excess. I like that, y'all. I like that a lot. Wow, that's so pretty. Alright, so then we're gonna go along the top here. So the one thing, I know there's a plugin, I think, for OBS. For me to be able to see if anybody's watching and has comments or questions. So I'm gonna just check real quick on my phone just to make sure, because if you are watching live and you do have questions, I don't want to like completely ignore that. I don't, let's see, I don't see anything in the chat. Okay. So if you are watching live and you make a comment or question and I don't see it, just please know that I'm not ignoring you. I just don't know how to bring that over into OBS. So that's a question I'm going to have to ask Teresa, because she is our OBS guru in our coaching group. It's actually probably in her training that she's done for us, so I need to watch that. Also need to finish watching, so I think I've talked about Whatnot to y'all. So I'm doing my first Whatnot sale on Sunday at 2:30 Eastern, I believe. And I will put a referral link in the video description for this too, because if you decide to use that link and follow me on Whatnot, you will get a $15 credit to spend on the platform, and it doesn't have to be like with me. You can absolutely follow another seller and use that $15 credit at their, you know, in one of their auctions or buy it nows. I'm pretty sure that works. I'm like 99.9% sure that $15 credit does not have to be spent with me. And I'm conflicted about turning people on to Whatnot because it's such a rabbit hole. I've been avoiding it like the plague for the past week, because my first couple weeks watching, I've like bought too many things. Now, I did buy some things specifically to sell at my last show because there's a lot of vintage dealers at Hobnob, and a lot of people come specifically looking for vintage products, so I bought some vintage ornaments and sold some, haven't sold all, still have some that I'll put out at my next show. I found a washboard for that Santa's clothesline kit. I really, really wanted a real one, like an old, authentic wooden washboard, and I found one on Whatnot. And I found some other really cool stuff, like an old sewing box, like one of those old 1970s plastic sewing boxes that I'm going to use for sewing supplies because it is still in great condition. An old metal not really a lunch box, but an old metal box. And the previous owner had painted the name Nina on it, Nina. My step-grandmother's name was Nina, spelt Nina. And so I had to have that box. I bought that. I think I'm going to put my like earring making supplies in that. I haven't completely decided yet, but that's what has come to mind so far. And I got a mystery box that had some really cool stuff in it. Some really awesome wood bits and pieces from Recycled Treasures. So it's a really fun platform. It's kind of like eBay meets Pinterest, and back when eBay was actually an online selling platform. So anyway, I have my first sale on Sunday, so I'm going to be spending some time this weekend prepping for that. Okay, I'm going to take my drying tool to this really quickly. Isn't that cute? I also still need to put the link to my inspiration reel in the video description. Okay, so hold on. I need to write these things down, or I'm gonna forget. Inspo reel supply list. What not referral link. Okay. Well, if I don't write it down, it's not going to happen. I think I've learned that by now. Okay. So now we are going to take the twine. And this twine's a little big. A little wide. But I didn't get out my smaller size of it, but I might have to because this may not bend the way I want it to. Okay, I'm gonna have to get my thinner twine. Give me 1 second. I have some just sitting out. No. Okay. So I'll use this as the hanger, but so the goal for the twine is to use it to make a little handle on the door. And so that twine just wasn't really bending quite the way I needed it to. Alright. So, I'm going to cut a piece longer than I know that I'm going to need, just to be able to play with it. And then my picture again. Yeah, it's about right. Might come from this end where it's a little less curly. So the hard part is this is all, it's, you know, all wound up in the you know, it's all bundled up, so the twine itself is curly. So I'm not getting a good okay. I think that'll work. So we're just going to wipe that off. There. Maybe? No, it's just stuck on my finger. Alright, so I'm just going to get a little blob of glue on there. And put my twine down in there. Now you're going to be able to see the glue on this. I mean, there's just no way around it. You know, if I played with this a little more, practiced at it a little more, I'd probably get, you know, a little better and be able to use a little less glue. Try to use a little less this time. And then we're just going to bend it and press it down into the glue. Of course, as I lift my finger up, it's all stuck. So when that's dry completely, I'll cut some of the extraneous strands of twine off, but that, I mean, that's not too bad. So that's our little handle for the door. And then the last thing, how did she did that underneath there. The last thing to do, actually no, next we need to, I probably should have done that before I did the handle. Let's see, I'm going to put that up on this. So we gotta add our hanger, and I like to give a decent amount of length for a hanger. So that you've got plenty of room to get it over the tree branches. I wrapped it a little bit, but I'm trying to push it down so that it's all in the glue and won't come unraveled. Okay. And that is Gorilla Glue in my glue gun, so that takes hold pretty fast. I don't know what is going on outside, but the dog is not happy about something. He's also not happy because I'm in here doing this, and he's not allowed to be in here when I'm doing this. Mostly because if he hears something, he's going to bark. So then we take a little dab of glue and our wreath, And I will say, having used these wreaths before, that you really do want some good strong glue. And probably want to glue it at both the top and the bottom, because there's not a lot of flat surface area on these. And so the other thing that you can do, which I've done before, is you just put glue all around on the back of it and then put it down. But that seems to be carrying up pretty well. Yeah, he stopped because he knows he's in trouble. Oh yeah, that's good. All right. So there is our little barn door ornament. And then, you know, so many variations that you could do with this. Not only just the design, so, you know, adding those cross hatches, but she did one where she cut different lengths on the door, so the top of the door looks a little bit like an archway. And then obviously the different colors that you paint it, and then based on the colors you paint it, instead of using twine, you could use different kinds of ribbon. So I have, I don't have it handy, but I have a paint color, it's called Winter Blue, so it's like an Elsa, Cinderella, you know, dress kind of blue, that I think if you did something like this and then used like a ribbon like this as the hanger would look really pretty. So I might make up a couple more of those. You know, I've got a show December 1st, and then I'm doing gift with purchase for like my Etsy store and things like that. So, you know, I'll be making up next week. This week it's stickers. Next week it's going to be ornaments. So I'll be making up some different ornaments. And these would be cute and really, you know, kind of easy to make. To send out with orders from my Etsy store. So yeah, and I could make up a bunch of these and do them as gift with purchase for my show in December too. So anyway, so that's that. I will add the supply list, the link to the inspo reel, and the referral link to my Whatnot show for the video description. I'll be back tomorrow with a different project. Maybe tomorrow we'll do the shaker card. I'll clean my desk off enough to feel like I can deal with pulling out my die cut machine. So I have if you've seen any of my organizing stuff or heard me talk about it, I have I don't know what you call it, a craft station kind of thing that I need to put together, and it's going to sit over to the right of me, and it's going to have space for my die cut machine and my Cameo, I hope, since I upgraded and got the bigger one, and my sewing machine and all that. It's just going to make all that stuff easier to access. I'm very excited about that. So anyway, so maybe we'll do the shaker card tomorrow or Sunday. I will be doing more watercolors, especially next week when I'm out of town, because that's easy for me to take with me when I'm traveling, and I just have need to take my little desktop mount for my webcam, and that'll work. So anyway, thanks for watching. If you have project ideas or suggestions, I'd love to know about it. You can throw inspo reels in the comments on my videos. You can direct message me on Facebook. You can email me, Whitney@girlfridaycrafts.com. And I will see you all again tomorrow. Bye.